Ladies and gentlemen, gather round. Let's talk about fumbles, shall we? The kind that don't just cost you the game, but your dignity, your peace, your very future. You see, there are mistakes, and then there are catastrophes. And fumbling someone like you, that's a catastrophe of biblical proportions. It's the type of mistake that doesn't just echo in the quiet moments. It screams through every second of regret, every ticking clock, every lonely night. Because here's the thing about losing someone of your caliber. It's not just about what they let slip through their fingers. It's about what you took with you when you walked away. Your presence was the kind that illuminated dark corners, filled voids, and gave life a depth they didn't even know they needed. They fumbled you, and now, every corner of their existence feels hollow. Every victory tastes bland, and every sunrise feels dim. They might not admit it, not openly. Pride is a funny thing. It will keep people shackled to their mistakes, make them act as if the loss doesn't gnaw at their insides. But don't be fooled by the facade. Every time they see someone who reminds them of you, every moment they hear a song you both loved, every memory they can't quite bury, it haunts them. Oh, how it haunts them. You were the one who believed in their potential, the one who saw the broken pieces and didn't turn away. You held up a mirror to their better self, not to break them, but to build them. And now, they're stuck staring at a reflection they can't fix, because you're no longer there to guide them. That's the price of fumbling someone who is irreplaceable. They tried to fill the void with distractions, maybe even with someone else. But here's the truth they'll never escape. You were the exception, not the rule. You didn't just enter their life, you elevated it. You were the storm and the calm after it, the lesson and the blessing. And when they let you slip away, they didn't just lose a person. They lost the version of themselves that only existed because of you. That's the part that hurts the most, doesn't it? Realizing that their best self was tied to the way you saw them, the way you believed in them, the way you loved them without conditions. Oh, they'll try to move on, but moving on doesn't mean moving forward. It's like running on a treadmill. Lots of motion, but no real progress. They'll chase shadows, memories, the ghost of what could have been, but they'll never quite catch it. Because fumbling someone like you isn't the kind of mistake you recover from. It's the kind that lingers, that rewrites the story of their life into a tragedy. And let's be clear, you're not the villain in this story. No, you were the light, the rare find, the thing they should have held on to with both hands. If they couldn't see that, if they were too blind, too careless, too wrapped up in their own flaws, then the blame is theirs to carry. Let them carry it. Let it weigh on them. Let it serve as a reminder that some losses aren't lessons, they're punishments. So what do you do with this knowledge? You rise. You don't just survive their fumble, you thrive because of it. You become the unshakable proof that losing you is the turning point they'll always regret. Let them watch as you build a life so radiant, so fulfilled, that it's impossible to ignore. Let them see you shining, succeeding, living a life they'll never be part of again. And when they try to come back, and trust me, they will, you'll know exactly what to say. The door you closed on me isn't one you can walk through again. That's the beauty of being the one who got away. You're not haunted by the loss. They are. You don't lose sleep over the what-ifs. They do. Because deep down, they know they'll never find someone like you again. And isn't that the ultimate revenge? To live so fully, so vibrantly, that their regret becomes a permanent shadow in your light? Ladies and gentlemen, let this be your reminder. You are not replaceable. You are not just another face, another chapter, another fleeting moment. You are the whole damn book, the masterpiece they overlooked, the blessing they took for granted. And while they're stuck, replaying their fumble in their mind, you're out here writing the next great chapter of your life, a chapter they'll never be part of. Let their regret fuel your fire, but don't let it anchor you. You're more than their mistake. You're the victory they'll never have again. And that, my friends, is how you turn their fumble into your greatest triumph. That kind of regret, the kind that keeps them up at night, staring at the ceiling, wondering where it all went wrong, isn't something they can escape. It clings to them like a second skin, a constant reminder of their short-sightedness. You see, fumbling someone like you isn't just a one-time mistake, it's a ripple effect. It spills into every facet of their life, staining relationships, decisions, and even the way they view themselves. They start to wonder, am I the one who's broken? Am I incapable of recognizing something good when I have it? That thought festers. It eats away at their confidence, their ability to trust their own judgment. Because when you lose someone who brought meaning and purpose to your life, it's not just them you lose. You lose the part of yourself that felt whole, the part that believed in better days. They'll carry that weight, no matter how many masks they wear, no matter how much they pretend it doesn't matter. Oh, it matters. It matters more than they'll ever admit. Think about it. They'll go on, trying to find replacements, cheap imitations of the real thing, but nothing will ever come close. You don't replace someone like you. You can't. You're not a generic mold that can be replicated. You're one of a kind, a rare, precious jewel they didn't know how to value until it was too late. And now they're left with memories that sting, reminders that burn, and a void that no one else can fill. But let's talk about you, because this isn't just about their regret. It's about your resilience. It's about how you take this pain, this betrayal, this fumble, and turn it into fuel. You could have crumbled. No one would have blamed you. Losing people who can't see your worth cuts deep. It makes you question yourself, your value, your place in the world. But here's the thing. You didn't break. You didn't give them the satisfaction of seeing you fall apart. Instead, you rebuilt. You rose from the ashes of their mistakes and became stronger, brighter, more unstoppable than ever. Every step you take now is a step toward a life that's so far removed from their reality, they won't even recognize the person you've become. And that's the goal, isn't it? To grow so much, to evolve so profoundly that the person they knew feels like a distant memory, a shadow of the giant you've become. They'll see you thriving, and it'll sting like hell, because deep down, they'll know they had a front row seat to greatness and chose to look away. You're not just surviving, you're thriving. Every new success, every milestone, every laugh that echoes through the room, it's a testament to your strength, your determination, your refusal to be defined by their shortcomings. And they'll notice. Trust me, they'll notice. They might not say it out loud, but they'll see your victories and feel a pang of something they can't quite name. It's regret, sure, but it's more than that. It's the realization that you didn't just move on, you moved up. You outgrew them, left them behind in the dust of their own failures. And here's the kicker. They'll never stop wondering. They'll replay those moments in their mind over and over again, searching for the point where it all went wrong. Was it something they said? Something they did? They'll try to justify it, rationalize it, convince themselves it wasn't their fault. But in the quiet moments when the noise dies down and they're left alone with their thoughts, the truth will hit them like a freight train. They fumbled you. They fumbled the one person who saw their potential, who believed in their dreams, who stood by them when no one else did. And now, they'll never have that again. That's the curse of regret. It doesn't let you forget. It's a constant companion, a shadow that follows you wherever you go. Every success they achieve will feel hollow because they won't have you to share it with. Every failure will feel heavier because they'll know they don't have you to lift them up. And every time they see someone who even remotely resembles you, their heart will sink because they'll remember what they lost. But you're free. Free from their doubts, their insecurities, their inability to see what was right in front of them. You've stepped into a new chapter, one where you call the shots, where you decide who gets to be part of your story. And let me tell you, not everyone deserves a place in that story. Not everyone is worthy of your light, your energy, your time. You've learned that the hard way, but that's okay. Because now, you're wiser, stronger, and more self-assured than ever. So let them regret. Let them sit with their choices, their mistakes, their fumbles. It's not your job to fix them, to heal them, to make them whole again. That's a burden they'll have to carry on their own. Your job is to live, to love, to build a life so beautiful, so fulfilling, that their absence feels like nothing more than a footnote in your journey. You owe it to yourself to keep moving forward, to keep striving for greatness, to keep being the incredible person they were, too blind to appreciate. Because here's the truth, their fumble doesn't define you, it defines them. It's a reflection of their inability to recognize something extraordinary, not a reflection of your worth. You are more than their mistakes, more than their regrets, more than their failures. You are a force of nature, a beacon of hope, a testament to the power of resilience. And no matter how much they might wish they could go back, rewrite the past, and undo their fumble, they can't. The past is done, sealed, irreversible. What remains is the present, and the present belongs to you. It's your time to shine, to grow, to become everything they couldn't see. And as you continue to rise, to conquer, to thrive, their regret will only deepen, because they'll realize too late that fumbling you wasn't just a mistake, it was the biggest fumble of their lifetime. So go on, live your life with purpose, passion, and unapologetic joy. Let them haunt themselves with their regrets, their could-haves and should-haves. And as you build a future so bright, it blinds everyone who doubted you. Remember this, you were never the one who fumbled. You were always the prize, the goal, the one worth holding on to. Their loss isn't your burden to bear. It's theirs, and it always will be. And that, my friends, is how you turn their regret into your ultimate redemption. Keep rising, keep shining, and never, ever let anyone dim your light again. The weight of fumbling someone like you isn't just a passing regret, it's a lifetime sentence. You see, they'll never truly escape the aftermath of their mistake because fumbling someone rare, someone valuable, someone unforgettable, it carves a scar into their soul, a scar they'll carry to their grave. It doesn't fade with time. No, it deepens with every moment they realize what could have been, every time they catch a glimpse of you, happy, thriving, unapologetically alive. They might try to pretend they've moved on. They'll wear the mask of indifference, act as if it doesn't hurt. Maybe they'll find distractions, throw themselves into work, into hobbies, into other relationships. But distractions are just that, temporary. When the noise dies down, when they're left alone with their thoughts, the truth comes rushing back, doesn't it? They fumbled the very thing they now know they'll never find again. Imagine them walking through life, seeing glimpses of you in unexpected places, a laugh that sounds like yours, a scent that reminds them of the way your presence lingered, a song that played during a moment they thought would last forever. They'll tell themselves it's just coincidence, but deep down, They know it's a cruel reminder of what they lost. Life has a funny way of forcing people to confront their regrets, doesn't it? It's relentless, unyielding, a mirror they can't escape. And here's the thing, they won't just regret losing you, they'll regret the version of themselves they were when they had you. Because you didn't just exist in their life, you elevated it. You pushed them to be better, to dream bigger, to see the world in ways they couldn't on their own. You were the spark that ignited something in them they didn't even know was there. And now, that spark is gone. The fire has burned out, and all they're left with is ashes. But let's focus on you. Let's talk about what happens when someone fumbles you, and you choose to rise instead of fall. It's not just about surviving their mistake. It's about thriving in spite of it. It's about taking the pain, the betrayal, the heartbreak, and using it as fuel. Fuel to build a life so extraordinary, so radiant, that it leaves no room for bitterness, no space for regret on your end. You see, their fumble isn't your burden. It's not a reflection of your worth. It's a reflection of their inability to see what was right in front of them. And as you grow, as you evolve, as you become the person you were always meant to be, their regret will only grow deeper. Because while they're stuck in the past, you're out here conquering the future. Every victory you achieve will be a reminder of what they lost. Every smile, every laugh, every moment of joy, it will echo in their mind as a reminder of the happiness they let slip away. They'll watch from afar, unable to look away, because your life will be a constant reminder of their failure. And isn't that the ultimate revenge? To live so fully, so passionately, so unapologetically, that their regret becomes a permanent part of their story. But let's not dwell on revenge, because this isn't about them. It's about you. It's about reclaiming your power, your light, your joy. It's about realizing that their inability to see your worth doesn't diminish it. If anything, it amplifies it. Because the truth is, you're not just anyone. You're the person who turns ordinary moments into extraordinary memories. You're the person who brings light to the darkest corners, who sees beauty where others see nothing. So let them regret. Let them sit with their choices, their mistakes, their shortcomings. That's not your burden to carry. Your burden, if you can even call it that, is to live, to love, to laugh, to build a life so magnificent that their regret feels like a distant echo in the symphony of your success. Because here's the truth, their fumble isn't the end of your story. It's just the beginning. It's the moment that propels you forward, the catalyst that pushes you to become everything you were always meant to be. And as you rise, as you shine, as you thrive, remember this, you were never the one who fumbled. You were the one worth holding on to. They didn't just lose a person, they lost a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. An opportunity to grow, to learn, to be loved in a way they'll never experience again. And that's on them, not you. So let them regret. Let them live with the weight of their mistakes. You, my friend, have a life to live. A life so full, so beautiful, so vibrant that their regret fades into insignificance. Keep rising, keep shining, and never let anyone dim your light again. Because you, my friend, are the one who got away. The one they'll never forget. The one they'll regret losing for the rest of their lives. And that, more than anything, is your victory. The weight of fumbling someone like you doesn't diminish over time. It grows heavier. It doesn't fade into the background or quietly dissolve into the noise of life. No, it lingers, sharp and biting, like a wound that never quite heals. For them, it's not just a regret, it's a reckoning. Because every time they look back, every time they reflect on the choices they made, they'll see the unmistakable moment where they let you slip away. It's not just about the loss of a person, it's about the loss of possibility. They'll remember the dreams they dreamed with you, the plans that could have been, the life they could have built. And now, those dreams feel empty, hollow, unattainable, because they know deep down that no one else will inspire them the way you did. No one else will see them the way you saw them, challenge them the way you challenged them, love them the way you loved them. And that's the part they'll never escape, the knowledge that they had something rare, something precious, and they let it go. You were their miracle, their second chance, their moment of clarity in a chaotic world. But instead of holding on to you, they fumbled. And now, all they're left with are echoes of what could have been, fragments of a future that will never come to pass. But while they're stuck in the past, you're forging ahead. You've turned their fumble into your freedom, their mistake into your motivation. You've learned to let go of the bitterness, the anger, the hurt, and replaced it with purpose, passion, and power. Because you know that your value isn't defined by their inability to see it. It's defined by the way you rise, the way you shine, the way you continue to grow despite the setbacks. Every step you take now is a testament to your resilience. Every accomplishment, every moment of joy, every new connection you make is proof that their mistake didn't break you. In fact, it made you stronger. You've become the embodiment of what it means to thrive after loss, to turn pain into power, to transform heartache into hope. And as you rise, as you build a life that's vibrant and full, their regret will only grow, because they'll see you not just surviving, but thriving. They'll watch as you reach heights they could never have imagined, as you find love that's deeper, stronger, more fulfilling than anything they could have given you. And they'll know, without a shadow of a doubt, that they fumbled the greatest thing they ever had. But here's the most beautiful part of all. Your story isn't about them. It never was. It's about you, your strength, your courage, your unyielding determination to keep moving forward. It's about the way you've learned to love yourself, to value yourself, to see yourself for the incredible person you are. You're no longer defined by their mistake. You're defined by your ability to rise above it. Because at the end of the day, fumbling someone like you isn't just a mistake. It's a tragedy. Not for you, but for them. They'll spend the rest of their lives wondering what could have been, wishing they could go back, replaying every moment in their mind. But you're free. Free to live, to love, to create a life so extraordinary that their regret becomes nothing more than a whisper in the wind. And as you walk forward into a future that's bright and limitless, remember this. You were never the one who fumbled. You were the one worth holding on to, the one who made life richer, brighter, more meaningful. And their inability to see that doesn't make you any less extraordinary. It only proves that you were too much for them to handle, too rare for them to keep. So live your life with purpose, with passion, with unrelenting joy. Let their regret be their burden, not yours. Because the best revenge isn't anger or bitterness, it's happiness. It's creating a life so full, so beautiful, so radiant that their regret pales in comparison to your triumph. And that's the truth, isn't it? You weren't just someone they lost. You were the loss that will haunt them for a lifetime. But for you, it's just the beginning of a life so incredible, so fulfilling, that their fumble becomes nothing more than a distant memory. Keep rising, keep shining, and never, ever let anyone fumble you again.